here live from Shelley's Back Room, 1331 F Street in the heart of our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. This is the best political talk show you've never heard of. It's Backroom Politics live on Spreaker. Hey, we're continuing our coverage of the breaking news out of Washington, D.C. today. Again, covering the news, it is Director James Comey, the head of the FBI, made a statement around 11 o'clock this morning stating that there is no recommendation for criminal charges to be brought forward against former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton for her private server email gate over at her tenure as Secretary of State at the State Department. That being said, there are a lot of other questions that we brought up, and Admiral Ken, I want to go to you on this. The adjudication issue is a big deal. Now then, the chances of Hillary getting elected and not allowed to read in the highest levels of security are far. She's going to get clear.
That's not.
She's the president.
That's not what I'm saying.
She already said she's going to let us know everything that goes on at Area 51. We're going to see the aliens. The aliens are going to be outed.
That you waited all break for that?
No, that's not the one.
Okay, all right. But the reality,
I can tell the aliens are in your house, Dan. Go ahead.
But the reality here is that her top echelon now, if she was expecting to bring over people like Mills, people like Uma Abedin, her core inner circle, who could have been key players in the White House, are now questionable. Would OPM clear them to be in the White House?
Well, OPM works for the president, so but
OPM is also in charge of adjudicating clearances for federal employees, which they would be. They would not be the president; they would be employees of the White House.
I think. Honestly, you'd have to get an OPM expert in here and talk about how much integrity is built into their system and how much they can be influenced by the higher levels of the organization. But all things being equal, if the rest
OPM is also the same organization that gave Snowden a clearance.
Exactly. All things being equal, if in fact the written version of Director Comey's report is as damning as what was presented during his press conference today, I think would be very difficult for someone in a position of authority to be able to say, yeah, they're okay, give them a clearance. I would find it very hard for them to be able to do that.
Dan Lipner?
I'm actually going to agree on that point. The independence of OPM doing that, I mean, admittedly there are waivers for everything, which is true, and might have to be a waiver that goes all the way up to the president. That said, the challenge is there while dealing with this, and even Hillary said on the campaign trail, she is shaken by her trust numbers in the polls, and she wants to deal with it. So I can't imagine after being sworn in that would be one of her first moves.
All right, but now we have a situation where you have Hillary down in Charlotte, North Carolina, a key state for Democrats this cycle.
Wait, I still have my one-liner.
Okay, do your one-liner, Dan.
The real loser on this was Bernie Sanders. His campaign is technically still going. I'm sure he was hoping for a prosecution.
Okay. We waited all break for that, too?
That's better than the other one.
That's true. It is. It is slightly better. But now you have a situation where you have the President of the United States on the same stage stumping for the presumptive Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton. This can't be a smart move for the Obama administration. The day James Comey releases this deal, is this a problem for the Obama administration as well as a credibility problem for him stumping for Hillary?
Yeah, and I say that as a Democrat. It's the same day. I mean, it's less than 5 hours apart near North Carolina. I'm sure he's going, geez, I wish this wasn't the same day. But it is the same day, and that's all the Republicans are going to do, and it's going to stop from the top down. It'll be the presidential, it'll be the senatorial, it'll be the governor, it'll be the representatives. They're all going to put a picture of Obama and Hillary together, and they're going to do that because they're concerned about their own races right now.
Dan Lipner, you disagree?
No, I absolutely disagree. From a political communication standpoint, this is a different beast. So this was dumb luck. I'm certain they didn't coordinate or know that Comey was going to give his press conference today, but this was just lucky. So instead of the news story just being Comey making his statement, instead you get the president campaigning for the first time with a picture of the person he would like to succeed him getting on Air Force One and campaigning. This was a lucky day for the Clintons, if anything.
Well, how do you say that?
Because
Yeah.
We're sitting here. We are watching CNN right now.
You've got 5 people looking at you like you're high.
5 people who live inside the Beltway who normal America is going to see a couple different things today. The Comey story will work its way through, but the top story is going to be the president with Hillary on the campaign trail.
And there will be
Alan, wait, I gotta get Alan Moore.
and there will be no reference whatsoever
I didn't say no
in all of
reference.
those stories
I didn't say
about Comey and what the
Are you,
FBI did today.
are you honestly
The
suggesting
reason-
it's better for just to be Comey?
No,
is
no.
that what you're saying?
No.
This is, this is
I'm
political
just
communications
amused.
debate.
I agree with Denise here that even a couple of days difference would have helped. Let this story play out. The problem is that the Comey FBI report, the Republican response, colors the joint appearance that Obama and Clinton made.
I mean, they
in
were
all
literally
of the
getting on
press
Air
reports.
Force One
They
as
get
they
to
were.
see him there, and then the whole story is not, hey, they're out there together. It's, hey, they're out there together on the day that the FBI report came out. Let's talk about that FBI report. Not let's talk about how great it is that the two of them are together.
Bob Hines, politically, the Republicans are going to pounce on this. This has got to be a political communications juggernaut for the Dems and a gift in Christmas in July for the Republicans.
I can see some Republicans saying exactly what you just said.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
I do. And
But-
I'm not sure it's right.
You don't? Why not?
I'm not sure that there's not going to be more coming out, and then it'll mess up what they're trying to do.
Interesting. Admiral Ken.
So, I both agree and disagree with Dan. I disagree.
the agree part.
I disagree with Dan in that
Profile and courage.
yeah. I disagree with Dan in that the White House had no idea that Comey was going to come out. If you think that Loretta Lynch didn't know what Comey was going to say before he got in front of that microphone, I want you to buy the swampland I'm trying to sell in Florida because I could probably get a pretty good deal for it. Number 2, okay, so the Republicans, they're going to jump. They were going to jump on this anyway. I mean, holy cow! I mean, they're going to.
How can they not?
How can they not? They were going to anyway. I mean, so in that regard, I don't think anybody.
She
I don't think
killed
anybody.
the ambassador
I don't-
in Benghazi.
I don't think anybody would be surprised. Would be surprised by that because if the tables were turned, it was the other way around. This is what the Democrats would do. That's what the game is in this town. The fact of the matter is, you know, what you have are two candidates that are damaged goods, and the country is basically left to figure out, you know, spin the bottle who they're gonna vote for.
I stand
And
by
the people that are going to support Hillary Clinton are not going to be in any way disappointed that the president of the United States stood up and
but I wanna
support
go-
her, and the people that don't like Hillary Clinton are not going to be surprised.
But I want to go to
because they got-
Denise's point of this could be backfire for Camp Clinton. You know, you've still got a good chunk of young, well, not just the independents. I'm talking about the young, feel the burn Democrats that were out there that are now, hey, I'm not voting for her. I'll vote for a Gary Johnson or even a Donald Trump before I vote for Hillary. She's not my Democrat. Is that a fear inside the party right now, Denise?
Yes. Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, she may have more money right now than Trump, but Trump doesn't need the money because he has his mouth. She doesn't have that. She needs folks to get out and be
free
energized.
media. And free media. 'cause
And
Free media.
Every time he
Yeah.
opens his mouth and he
And-
does
and-
something stupid, he gets
Right.
more press.
And she doesn't have that, and that's really concerning.
She's a presumptive Democratic presidential nominee. Getting earned media is not going to be difficult. The only question is whether or not it's going to be crazy earned media, which is what Trump's getting.
She's
Yeah,
not
but
gonna
no, but here's the thing, though, Alan Moore. You know, when you look at this, the Twitter machine that is the Trump campaign. I mean, let's be honest. Trump has become the presumptive nominee by spending the equivalent of about 50 cents and a Twitter feed, and he's become the Republican nominee. You don't think that machine is not going to pour onto this like milk on cereal?
Well, he's already sent out a couple. He'll do 2 or 3, and then he'll retweet a few. It's just that a lot of other people will be talking about it, tweeting about it, talking about it, discussing it. It will be the lead story tonight on the evening news. Not that anybody watches the evening news, except that a lot of the cable enterprises and second-tier journalists still pay attention to what the New York Times and Washington Post, CBS, ABC, and NBC lead with. So that'll be the lead, and then we'll see. Sure, these Clinton and Obama are together in North Carolina. That's something new. I think that whole thing gets colored by the overarching importance of what the FBI did and some of the outlandish charges that will be made. And people explaining what it all means. But then, what I don't know, and I asked this earlier, what I don't know is how long it takes for the FBI report to be in the hands of career prosecutors before the career prosecutors make a recommendation. And remember, all the FBI is doing is an investigation with a recommendation to the prosecutors. It's the prosecutors who carry so much weight this time because Attorney General Lynch has basically recused herself from the next stage of
the prevailing mindset right now is that this would probably fall under the U.S. Attorney here in the District of Columbia, which
Channing Phillips?
Yep, that's the prevailing the crimes occurred here in D.C. while she was Secretary of State in Foggy Bottom. Therefore, the U.S. Attorney here in D.C. would be the jurisdiction of record for said crime. And this is a guy who is about as risk adverse as anybody out there. I don't see the U.S. Attorney taking this case, but let's say they send it over to the U.S. Attorney's office. Right now, you're looking at a situation where, let's say they got it today. It would take the U.S. Attorney's Office a good 60 to 90 days minimum to convene a grand jury, to get a case ready for presentation to said grand jury, and get a bill of indictment against Hillary Clinton, if they even went that way.
Okay, well, let's, for transparency purposes, I've sued Channing Phillips. So all right. So now
Conflict of interest.
Conflict
right there. So now that we all know that when I sue DOJ, I sue Channing Phillips. Your timeline is right. Your timeline has to include conversations up to Loretta Lynch and up to
which she's already said she's recused herself. So now you're assuming it goes to the Deputy Attorney General.
Well, not recused herself. She said she's going to take whatever recommendation she is given. She will not challenge it.
Right. And the problem with Channing Phillips is Channing Phillips is a political